to the born music.
Now, it was at that very moment when everything changed for Lil Xan. Do you remember when that happened though? Lil Xan was at the time a fairly new artist in the industry, and it seems like the Tupac comment was the nail in the coffin. So yeah. Let's talk about her. Now, Lil Xan, it's been a while since I've seen anyone talk about Lil Xan. The last time I spoke about him was that fall off video I made last summer. Very good video, by the way. If you haven't seen it, you need to see it. I'll leave a link to it in the description below. But Lil Xan, just another case of a rapper who truly came and went. Like I said, at the time when he said what he said about Tupac, he blew up like what, 6 months prior to that? That's when the Betrayed music video dropped, and then the next pillar of Lil Xan's career was the Tupac stuff. That moment right there was the kind of thing that snowballed so many different events. He ended up getting banned from hip-hop. In Waka Flocka Flame's words, the entire genre was going at him for the comments. He also got pulled up on by a bunch of Tupac fans. He was also the victim of another incident at a gas station, which led to him pulling a gun.
Look at little get out! Hey, look at this guy pulling the gun right now. Look at this motherfucker. Hey, pull that shit out again, homie.
Lil Xan didn't even get to enjoy his peak, man. He came in the game, obviously blew up, made the Tupac comments, and then boom, 2 hours later, the fall off. He literally went through hell and back after what he said about Pac. And see, the thing is, he was very nonchalant about it. I think that's a big reason why this whole thing became so big. You're supposed to speak about the OGs with the utmost respect, which he didn't do. And on top of that, his reputation in hip-hop was never all that great to begin with. All the anger and resentment hip-hop fans had built towards him ever since he blew up was released after those comments. Guys like Lil Xan don't really have a future in the genre to begin with, because someone like Lil Xan was never supposed to last anyway. He was on a very much limited timetable from the second he blew up. Unfortunately, didn't have anything that made him special, made him stick out. I guess on a personality level, from what I've seen, he was a pretty normal guy, likable at times, but never so likable to the point where it holds much weight. Lil Xan essentially got bullied from hip-hop. That's really what happened, and the backlash he got from the Tupac comments was really just a symptom of a deeper problem. Now, that problem for him was the fact that he was a blow up fast and then fall off the next second kind of rapper. Even though that's the case, I won't say that it could have been prevented per se. There's a lot of ways he could have utilized all that clout he was getting for the better though. I want to say taking the Kid Laroi route where you instantly transition to pop when you're at that peak blow up stage is a really smart strategy. In this case though, wouldn't really work for Xan because Laroi is actually talented and has the qualities required to even be able to dominate that pop lane, while Lil Xan doesn't. He actually did try going that route with one of his latest singles. It's titled My Girlfriend, but the train has already left the station, so to speak. A good analogy to use when it comes to rappers like Lil Xan is pack your bags and leave because the flight is about to take off. You gotta have self-awareness to even think about these things though, and a lot of young rappers coming up in this era most definitely lack that. It's very easy to get caught up in the hype when you're blowing up, and unless you had a solid plan for your career way before blowing up, these things simply won't be in the forefront. We also gotta keep in mind that we did see an extreme case of overly controlling behavior from Lil Xan's management. Do you remember this moment right here?
Stop. I just found out my dad is a fucking crackhead.
Yo, stat.
Yo, look, they really trying to take me off live right now.
He was on Instagram Live, venting to his fans, and suddenly that happened. This is obviously something that does play a part in the downfall of any artist. We obviously don't know what the ins and outs of that situation was really looking like, but do we really need to, considering this alone tells us everything we need to know?
I'm a slave to my management. I'm a slave to everybody. I don't get control of my license.
When it comes to the Tupac comments, he gave people that ammo they so much wanted so it could be used against him, and that's something I can only blame him for. The smartest thing Lil Xan could have done was simply be a man of few words. This is a really good strategy to take as a rapper who the culture isn't so receptive towards, because anything you say can and will be used against you, kind of like in court. This is not only relevant to Lil Xan, by the way. Lil Yachty went through this when he was coming up, when he called Biggie overrated. Same thing with Kodak when he said that he's better than Pac. So the best thing to do is just stay quiet, and most importantly of all, praise all the amazing hip-hop artists who came before you when they come up in the conversation. Pretty simple, it's not rocket science. Another thing about Lil Xan though is he should have known his pocket. Not making more songs like Betrayed was a big mistake, because Betrayed was actually a dope sounding song. It had a little bit of that SoundCloud sauce to it, obviously was supported by Cole Bennett music video, which goes a long way, but not following in the footsteps of Betrayed, okay, your biggest song, huge mistake. And on top of that, to this day, okay, Mans has only dropped one project, which was Total Xanarchy, and that's it. Don't think there's too much to say about Lil Xan as a rapper apart from that. He's been dropping some music, been featured on some as well over the last year. Nothing that's been sticking from what I can see though. With that being said, man, I do feel a little bit sorry for Lil Xan. I may not be a fan of his music at all. I may not like him as an artist, but he did have an extremely hard time in hip hop. It almost feels like he was universally hated in the genre that can be easy to deal with. That's the result of a lot of things though. His image, the way his music actually sounded, the Tupac comments. I mean, I could go on and on and on and on and on, but I'll leave you with that. But yeah, Lil Xan, I don't even know why I even talked about Lil Xan, but hey, I did and you watched it. Gotcha. Any thoughts on Lil Xan, how he came up, his fall off, the Tupac comments and all that? Definitely let me know in the comment section below and let's not discuss about this.